Alright, so
We're
I
alone
suppose
at the moment.
we roll around.
Roll around.
Speaking of me not wearing any trousers.
You're not wearing trousers?
No. These are, they look like jeans. They are in fact my legs.
Skin coloured.
But that takes me straight onto conspiracy theories.
Oh shit, straight in.
Because it's a complicated one.
It is.
Like, for me, PooTube TV, and for you,
First taters.
and for you,
C-Vein.
and for you,
For me.
Joe.
My name's Joe.
Yeah. My name's Joe.
I've done it again. It makes me jump
Joe.
every time. I love it when I am
Joe.
But,
Joe all the time.
it's, I think clothes in general and
Clothes.
the sexualization of male and female bodies is definitely something that, like, probably maybe like young kids, obviously, because they're like innocent or whatever, and it's like weird.
Yeah.
But when you get older, it's just like,
Sexualised, isn't it?
well, no, it's the opposite in terms of like nakedness. I think like if you're in a really hot place, England, fair enough.
Oh yeah.
But like when it's hot, I feel like I should be allowed to just like
Go in your pants.
Yeah, like naked, I sort of understand. Like,
Yeah.
But just be able to just like be completely cool for me to just like be in my pants.
Yeah.
And just chill. It's like such a weird social thing where it's just like most people over the age of a certain age have seen a penis before, have seen boobs before, have seen whatever else. Probably like, especially nowadays generation, like had their fair share of fisting and fucking little shit like that. It's just like, sure, I can just be in my pants and be alright.
A little bit of lag. All of a sudden, 11 viewers.
Bang.
Welcome.
Bosh. Welcome to
Fraser in his pants. And the rest of us.
the Pantscast.
Closed
I
up.
can't wait for them fucking cakes, man. Really pulled out, literally, not even just pulled out of the bag, but pulled out the fucking luxury designer bag.
Oh, it is.
That's not just any old bag to pull
Yeah,
out.
sure. Oh, look at that. Flowers and
Lovely.
everything. Ooh.
That's
Wow.
fucking
Special
beautiful.
price.
There's a lot in there as well.
Yeah, boy.
Potentially 2 each.
Oh,
Jeez, double
You're
rating.
kidding me.
I don't know.
Oh, I cannot believe it.
Curry
Oh, I
can
can't
like
believe
that.
it.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Couldn't
Yeah.
believe it that way, but-
so
Conspiracies.
yeah, main point of
That's a
topic.
nice.
Conspiracy theories and inventions, good inventions, bad inventions, important ones. And
Not
if we can relate conspiracy theories to that, the ideal. If not, we're just gonna fucking segue hard. Yeah, no, conspiracy
like we
theories
usually
is, I think, as a broad term of it, before we go into specific ones.
Yeah.
Like, I've got that. I don't know, maybe like 3-4 years ago, I had a thing of conspiracy theories where I thought,
Go on the YouTube journey, did you?
well, everyone does, yeah. But then
Everyone
it got to the point where I was just like quite spiritual, I suppose, but like people like to think, and I suppose, I don't know, there are evil people, there are evil dictators, there are like whatever, like possible Illuminati, all that kind of shit. But at the end of the day, like, no one, you can say Hitler, and fair enough, like he was really bad, and he's the example that's used as like the bad guy.
Yeah.
But no one's as bad as they are in like movies and shit. It's like over dramatised. Like,
Yeah.
there's probably plenty of rich people out there that, yeah, they might do something a bit bad or they might do whatever, but like, two things. One, I've got no control over it, so why should I care? You know what I mean? Like, for me to be like aware of it and not aware of it is like, means I can't do anything different myself.
Yeah.
I can't like
it's
battle the
good-
Rothschilds myself. You know what I
It's
mean?
good to know about
But,
it, but yeah, I mean, it's not much.
And then the other side of it is like, I think a lot of it, like the human mind is so. That's why, like, you've seen a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. I think nowadays we're coming with the internet.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, everyone's always been had anxiety, or everyone's always been like a bit like this, and like the older generation don't really get it. But when you have so much information given to you, that makes you overthink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
Definitely.
lived before even phones, and you had to go knock for your mate, everything you know is there, and you know it's familiar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now I can be like, oh, what's going on in
This country, in this
Bangladesh?
country, and everyone's got different opinions, different this, different that. It's like overload you. So of course people are going
The
to start
worst thing I
overthinking and that.
think that sort of thing is
Absolutely.
a lot of it is everyone only posts the good side of like their lives. So it's
Yeah,
like, oh, I want
yeah,
this flash car, and
100%.
everyone else is like, I want that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they never have. They feel like they're not achieving anything, so they haven't got what
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
else is showing.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
social
oh,
media.
100%, yeah.
Well, so that's conspiracy theory, so
No.
that's like a social commentary.
No,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
but it's the same, how can I put it? The reason why I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories is the same reason as that, is because people didn't have that much shit rammed down their throat before this sort of generation
Actual
come around.
poo.
Yeah, well,
down their throats.
That's really
Well,
lovely image.
only on Wednesdays, but no, but you know what
Wednesday's
I mean.
cool
So
day.
I think that created the culture of it more because people always knew the government were dodgy.
Yeah.
People always knew stuff like that. But the reason why it's so much more now, not only because people are sharing stuff in there, but also the fact that it gets you paranoid, being able to know everything. It's like we're only simple monkey brain people. You know what I mean?
You say that about like the government and stuff like that. There's a video I watched. It was 101 facts about conspiracy theories. And one of them was there's a whole section of the government which is like dedicated to looking at like psychic mind powers and shit.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
real. This is a real thing. And
Oh,
it's
is
all top
this-
secret, and it's like, oh,
Is this? I don't know if it's real.
it's
but
like Stranger
there's them
Things.
whole like I think it's like a Russian like unit that basically tested people for that.
Yeah,
Like
I think so. But the
underground
US have
bunker,
got one as well.
yeah.
Yeah, that is. It's like there's a headquarters and everything that they know where it is and all that. Like they know it's a real thing. It's like fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
but there's loads of crazy stuff like that. Like I think it's what makes being alive good, and it's when you think of the whole universe and the galaxy, and even just within our universe, like something as simple as a slug. The fact that we can think up all this stuff, and even if all the top these conspiracy like leader guys are all really fucking evil, it's kind of beautiful that like we were smart enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
As like bacteria that grew to like more
Yeah.
bacteria that grew to a fish. It's like, man, we did good.
Yeah.
We can like
Build
have
cars
suits and
now.
have cards and planes and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make this shady decision. See, like you done good, bacteria.
Do you think there'll ever be a point where you cannot physically invent anything else?
No. No, there's always boundaries that you can cross.
Or no, but it's something completely new that hasn't been created.
Well, it's
Or do
happening
you think
all the
it's just
time.
gonna
Every
expand
day,
on previous inventions?
every day there's like new things coming out, and it's like it's things you wouldn't think of, and that's probably what you think when we're never going to be able to. We're going to get to that
I
point.
think
don't
as
think we are.
the term invent, I'm gonna say I think you can,
Yeah.
but I think once you've invented everything, and this is gonna sound well fucking hippie or whatever, but in this dimension,
Yeah,
then what you do in the next dimension, you're technically probably not inventing.
yeah.
Sounds really weird because we can't comprehend it because we're just three-dimensional creatures living a three-dimensional
Yeah.
life, and we've got three-dimensional brain,
Well,
three-dimensional everything.
have you
but
seen-
to get out of what we are as life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's you can't even comprehend what a word would mean, let alone
No.
create
Have
or
you
do
seen
something. I
Arrival?
reckon at that point there will be like
Yes.
You seen Arrival, that film?
the one where the aliens come down and then they transmit shit to her, and she's like, well, I can talk to you.
Then there's like, they have to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
learn a language.
I've basically
And it's like, it changes. It changes the way you think when you learn a new language,
yeah,
and that language basically makes time non-linear to you.
yeah.
And it's like, can you imagine if that was real? That'd be ridiculous, something like that. Because like the way their spaceships like fly and stuff, it isn't like jet engines or anything like weird and stuff like. And that's what makes you think you could invent something like that, like thousands of years in the future.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing with like when you get to that plane, everything that we know and can comprehend would be different. So it'd be you can't. It's really hard to. It sounds really harsh to say it, and it's kind of sad, but it's like even the smartest guy in the world who ever lived, he's just a three-dimensional smart guy.
This person, yeah.
So he couldn't actually understand
It's
it.
like-
You know what I mean? Like our brain,
Yeah.
there's no way our brain can understand it because it's not.
It's
in
like
that
a good
universe,
question
like-
for you for that sort of thing to invent something is try and think of a new colour.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
do it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That
And
fucks up my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Like,
we're
so
so good with microscopes and telescopes and microscopes, complete opposite, telescopes and stuff. And,
Yeah.
just generally being smart little monkey people we are. Most of the universe, or all the seeable universe that we know, and stuff that we'd never even be able to get to, is that far away.
This,
Oh, yeah.
this
They know what
reminds
it's made
me-
out of.
What you're saying reminds me of, I think it's something Neil deGrasse Tyson said. Do you know Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah.
So it's something like the reason why we probably haven't been visited by aliens is because the way we kind of just don't take notice of like an ant.
Yeah, yeah.
How
exactly.
an ant just walks around.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
obviously we're at like capacity, brain power, whatever, more than an ant. And then if there are more advanced beings, they could be that much more, just a tiny bit more, and they would be so much more advanced that we are just like ants to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So they
Yeah.
wouldn't need to investigate.
Or
it
do you
for
think
Yeah, they
that
know.
we
They
are
know.
the
They're
most
just be like,
fucking
oh, it's another one of
animals.
those sort of bimorphic walking creatures that likes war. Cool.
Exactly.
What if
that's-
we are the most evolved thing?
We could be, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And then
another
obviously-
thing as well. People get like well definite on science a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I don't think so
But it is-
because
go on.
I mean we could be, we definitely could be, but you got to think the universe is infinite. It's
Possibly.
endless.
Possibly.
We cannot find an end to the universe. It's forever expanding.
Yeah.
So there's a higher chance that there are several thousand. Like you could comprehend that. It's crazy. There's several thousand habitable worlds with civilizations that are more than us in like everything.
Yeah. It's like you say, the distance between us and them is so vast that you probably would never.
I want to find the quote.
Anyway.
I want to find the quote because it's ridiculous how he explains it. Like, really puts it into perspective here. Like he's good at that. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's so good. Watch him. Anyone listening, watch Neil deGrasse Tyson.
NDGT. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
There's a few good ones as well. There's the English guy's really good at it as well. Sort of like Northern used to be in a band.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell is that guy's name?
Paul McCartney.
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox band.
Ah, Brian.
He's very much the same. Where he's just like
he did.
He's very
bands, didn't he?
He's very plain speaking.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, scientists get really pretentious and they use big words just because they know them.
The Brian Cox thing. It was like, I'm just like you, just a little bit more sciencey.
Oh,
or something like that. I can't remember what the quote was.
Sounds like something you'd say, to be fair.
What was that from? It was a TV show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like one of them parody spoof shows.
My name is Brian Cox. Something like that.
He's got a really soothing voice.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Let us go out to the stars. It's like that. And then you're just like, yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. I am invested.
Although that Neil deGrasse Tyson did a space program, but it's like not just space. It's like all about the evolution of like the Earth and human race and all that. And it's really cool. He just narrates it. He's on this like CGI spaceship and they fly to different planets. It's sick. But it was written by the guy who wrote Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And it's like really weird. You wouldn't think of it, but it's humorous, but it's also very educational. And there are sad bits and there are good bits.
Talking of sad
really
and
good.
space, did you see the Opportunity rover?
Oh, I shared
So
that.
it died?
Yeah. It died.
What's this?
The Opportunity rover on Mars.
No.
It's
It
finally
died,
run
and
out
it
of
said-
lifespan.
The last thing that it said
I'll get it.
before it died was battery is low. It's getting dark. I was like,
Oh,
rover is on Mars.
Let me read it. Let me find it. Where is it? There's my new shoes.
Oh, that's deep in the
So
film.
it said, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Lightning off the cliffs of Olympus Mons. I watched the sunset from the past this rise. All those moments will be lost in time, like dust in a storm. Time to die.
No.
Poor little rover.
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
You should make a fucking emo band.
Bless that little rover.
Cut his life
Apparently all
into
the NASA people
pieces.
were like just like crying and sad about it. Because apparently though, it was only supposed to last 90 days, but it lasted 14 years.
What a fucking legend.
Yeah. And the only reason it stopped is because there was a massive dust storm that covered up all his solar panels.
Oh,
So they couldn't charge. And it was just
that's great engineering though. If they estimated their work was going to last 90 days and it lasted 14 years, like if you bought a TV with that kind of perspective, you'd be pretty happy, wouldn't you?
Oh, Grace, if they did invent teleportation, that would be incredible. Imagine just being like, oh, I need to go to
Portal
Australia
gun.
to work. Just be like,
Rick and Morty's Portal gun,
Yeah.
or the game Portal.
mm.
Imagine if you had that, just a portal to your work, so you can just like wake up and roll in.
Literally roll out of bed.
You don't need a car. Imagine if you go to a different country, put a portal over there, and then just
Yeah.
portal in your wardrobe.
Just commute to Japan every day.
Portal seems so much nicer as well because the only other thing from that is teleportation, and teleportation always seems really scary because it's like all they've got to do, like the human body's so fragile. It's just like, oh, we teleported you like hundreds of miles away, but we actually put your heart 4 inches to the left.
Yeah,
and you just
yeah,
be
yeah.
there and you'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
Or you come back and then you just have like your arm as your nose.
yeah,
Or something.
yeah.
We've seen Harry Potter.
This is
innit?
not what I remember.
Harry Potter when they like apparate or something,
Yeah.
he like splices his like chest or some shit like that. I think it's
Yeah.
like more described.
That's
in the
something, but
book.
portals is nice because it seems more familiar to us. It's just like a door.
There's a
reality.
theory that with time travel,
Mm.
that if it was possible, it would only be possible to go forward,
Yeah,
but
that's what
not
Grace was just
backwards.
saying.
Yeah. Like, I was didn't see that. No, but it's because of there's something
She said,
that in theory,
time is relative. It could be slowed and stretched, but not rewound.
yeah.
Basically. But if you slowed down time enough, then surely you would go through like faster. Or would you also be slowed
Would
down?
that not
with
fuck
it?
up your like?
No, but it's different. It's the same as when you're in orbit. If you're in orbit around the world, you
Ooh.
age slower, I
Yeah,
think,
than the world. Yeah.
than the world. So like technically that's time travel right there.
Yeah.
Well, you
You know what
actually
I mean?
age slower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How?
because
can't-
it's the whole thing of time being relevant. So basically, it's really hard to explain. The time that you experienced while you're up there
Ah, there you go. Less gravity, less time. Is what Gracie said.
Yeah,
So, like in Interstellar, have you seen that?
Yeah,
when
when
they
it
go
goes-
down to the water planet,
Yeah.
and they go up, and it's been like 30 years,
Yeah.
and he gets like loads of videos from his daughter, and it's proper heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking
But he goes to his daughter's funeral, doesn't he? Spoiler, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
shit.
it's been out long enough. Now.
Yeah.
The fucking end
Yeah.
as well, where he
What's the
wakes
bit when
up.
he's in that weird like bookcase in the? And he's
That's
like, looking
that's
through?
the tesseract in it. That's basically like the fourth dimension. So it's like
Right.
time is again non-linear.
Yeah.
So you can like I'll be like go to like fucking when the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
If you found it, I don't know how it works.
It's basically it's what
Where's the robot
again.
go
This
as well?
is saying it's exactly what we were saying earlier. That whole scene was basically depicting a 3D person, like I was saying,
Yeah.
trying to be in a 4D. You know what I mean, or
Yeah,
whatever the next dimension, 5D, whatever you want to call it. It's just like you can comprehend bits of it, and maybe it uses light, and you can use that for your eyes. But for him, you know what I mean, he's just floating through it.
Yeah.
He can't. He's not like a being of that realm. He just was in there for a bit, and then it was like.
The thing is, he went into there through a black hole,
Mm.
and I'd just like to point out, I'm sure people know this, what would actually happen if you went into a black hole? You'd be spaghettified.
Yeah, yeah.
Spaghettification is a real word, and it's like you just kind of divide, like so you know how like cells divide. That'd be your body. You just like you're in half, now you're in quarters, now you're in eighths, and that'll just keep going. You're fucking gone.
Well, yeah. If you got anywhere close to it, you probably die.
But if you was beyond the event horizon, like away from it,
Mm.
you could see. Say if Paul was going in and I was in the spaceship watching him going in, I would forever see him going in because the way
Yeah,
it's
that's
time.
it,
So he's forever just there, but he's obviously gone.
Yeah, no, but if I was in there, I would see you really quickly just go from being full size to nothing.
Yeah. It's weird, but your eyes probably wouldn't work. You'd probably just be like,
There was no light, is
I'm
there?
getting close down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just like, or even if you had like lights or anything like that, you just senses wise think everything would just shut off as we know it. And maybe you would, maybe you'd pop out the other side eventually and be like, oh, I'm in that fucking, what's it called, Babylon 5.
Yeah. There's a Stargate over there.
Oh mate, if only I'd do that every day. I'd risk it. I'd be the first man in space, just praying for fucking Teal'c.
Yeah.
Send me.
You know what he'd be looking for? You know, in Total Recall, the chick with the three boobs. You'd be looking for her.
It's weird, like but I like boobs.
He'd be looking for Arnie.
Yeah, like I think I'm so not fussy with boobs, but boobs are either good or bad.
Yeah.
I've never like seen a pair of boobs and been like, oh, they're medium. You know what I mean? I've ever been like,
Oh, these
sexy
are medium
boobs.
rare.
Yeah, I've ever been like, oh, I've been for sex and they're nice boobs, or I've been like,
Oh, that's brilliant.
wow, your nipples look like patties.
From space to boobs in seconds, the Chums podcast. No, boobs are great man.
Great.
They're great, man.
Great.
They're so great. I love boobs, man. They're great.
Have you found any interesting conspiracies?
Have you, Mark? Have you?
There is one.
Yeah.
Oh, is there?
Smash it out.
They believe that we never went to the moon.
Oh, speaking of
Stanley
space as well.
Kubrick. They got
They
Stanley
Yeah,
Kubrick
yeah.
to film it. That was one of mine.
Someone just said it's a good chat actually as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bullshit. My dad, when he was a kid, he used to
He
tell
went to the
me.
moon.
He went like this. He went like this, and he just flew to the
Like
moon.
Neo from the end of Matrix.
Yeah.
Or it was
That's
like
epic.
Scott Pilgrim. It's like, what did your ex-boyfriend do to you? He's like, he punched a hole in the moon for me. And he's like, oh. No, but my dad watched on the TV the launch and all that, and it was a big event, obviously. And it was like, I wholeheartedly believe that it was a real thing. But Stanley Kubrick could have done it, but he didn't. He was making films.
Yeah,
You know.
but I think the thing is with conspiracies is the fact that I know people want to know curiosity killed the cat, etc. But the fact is, like, depending on if we didn't or did go to the moon, literally, like, other than bragging rights between America and Russia, it's like, what is it actually like? You know what I mean? Some people will go hardcore on that shit, and it's just like, but if you finally prove it, it's like, oh, it was a fake. It's like, oh, quality. So what does that change?
Nothing.
No, but
Cool.
absolutely nothing.
You know what I mean? It's
You're
like,
correct.
I do understand like the lust for truth and knowledge and understanding. That's what makes humans good. But at the same point, you don't always have to. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can just be a bit ignorant and just fucking chill out. And you know what I mean? Like
The thing is, we
Enjoy
have
life.
like the ISS now with like multinational people working on it, which is great because space is a neutral territory, and all right, it's brilliant. And then you got rovers like on Mars.
yeah.
You got rovers. I don't know if you got a rover on the moon. And then we got satellites going proper far out that
Oh,
we've never been
Voyager
to
and stuff.
before.
Yeah.
The two satellites that film in the sun right now, it's really fucking cool. We've got all that stuff, and they was like, no, we never landed on the moon. Like, no, of course not, because we haven't got all this shit.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I think we even got a satellite that clears up space junk. He's trying to catch it all in a net. I was saying. Oh, I thought it was ridiculous. It's like it's got to be some powerful net because think how fast they're travelling.
Yeah,
you don't comprehend how fast they're travelling.
That's also travelling with it.
Yeah. But it's just crazy because they're travelling. How fast is it? They're just orbiting. It's like a slingshot, isn't it? And you just carry on going around because of gravity.
Yeah. Thousands of miles an hour.
Imagine going that fast just constantly. Just
You probably get used to it. Yeah.
Just like, this is my life now.
Yeah. I think it's why I never was scared of hell. Because it's just like hell, like underworld.
I thought you said Neville.
I thought you said Neville was scared of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely said Neville, didn't he?
Well, maybe
Did he say Neville?
The replays will tell us. But regardless. But it's that whole thing of you do just get used to stuff as a human. The amount of stuff where it's just like, oh, that noise is so annoying. Realistically, if that was like a loud, horrible beeping noise on your computer, it's like, I can't get rid of it. Realistically, after like an hour,
you just get used to it.
Yeah.
Like
your body's so good at adapting. Yeah, exactly. Like same here. But like
the voices.
Human's best thing is adapting at stuff. Or any
Yeah.
life, you know what I mean? It's why we're here now. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like maybe your soul, your spirit, but I just remember from a really young age just being like, it's like, oh, hellfire, and it's just like, so when my skin burns off and I've got no nerve endings left, and it's just like, I'll grow nerve endings back, and it's just like, well, yeah, but if this is eternity and I've got my same consciousness, like, I'm definitely not I'm just gonna not give a shit anymore. You can't for like forever be like, you just get bored and tired, you know what I mean? You start playing guitar with Satan and just be like, yeah, man. Thank you for making heavy metal.
Tenacious D, man.
Thank you for making heavy metal.
What about Hitler took a rocket and actually still lives on the dark side of the moon in a dome?
Yeah, Transformers did it.
Yeah. And then Charlotte says, how about the theory that Princess Diana's death was an inside job?
Oh yeah,
That's
I
one, yeah.
wholeheartedly believe that one. That's fucking real, man.
Maybe.
There's no way you're ever going to know for sure.
Mm.
So I reserve the right to believe it because there's a lot of shit that you can read and it's like, wow, this actually checks out.
Yeah.
This is actually true.
In my head, it would have been cleaner.
You know,
The royal family is so
smashing a car.
it would have been like blow dart.
Yeah.
this
Like,
is
look, the Queen's
manufacturing
face in
again,
the dark,
though.
like,
This is manufacturing again, though. This is the like it's kind of like the powers that be have like grown with the times, and this is how they do it. They manufacture a royal family.
That's just a propaganda.
It's all
type
front,
thing.
man. It's all front. That's conspiracy theory. That's
I think it's
big
just
deal.
propaganda.
It's because the economy that they bring in, which is good. Yeah, it helps people. There's a lot of people selling shit T-shirts that fucking Japanese people are going to buy. Well done, by the way. If anyone who does that is listening, yeah, probably not. But it's all that shit. It's just manufactured, and I understand why it needs to be. But you do kind of feel a bit shafted, didn't you? That there's one family that are fucking German, pretty much. That are sitting up there living the high life, play golf whenever you want, clear the fucking field. Yeah, you can clear a whole fucking city if you want.
The only people you can blame is your great ancestors. So
Yeah.
you should have fought harder.
But that's what I mean.
And
the
poisoned
fuckers.
more mead.
Yeah.
I just can't believe like the way. Imagine it used to be where you had like the Lord of the Land and like the King. And all
Oh
that.
mate, don't! I wish I lived in them times.
Yeah.
I'd be dead by the age I'm at now, but I'd have lived. But most people would have. But
Yeah.
I would have had a much more free life. You know what I mean?
You could throw out
Anytime
like
I
a
thought
bow
I
and
would
like-
deserve something, I'd have been able to fight for it. And I probably would have done that like 3 times successfully and then got killed.
Yeah.
And then 3 times I'd have been like, damn right.
I'd be that guy.
Like easy peasy.
You know what I mean? Easy
I'd like want to
peasy
be a
carving it in with my
blacksmith.
saber.
I'd want to be a blacksmith because you'd be safe.
No, because you definitely get like basically slave laboured by the Lord to make them their armour for their.
And-
For
Yeah,
their
but then
armies.
you can make yourself some sick like armour and weapons, and then go fuck them up.
It depends how unloyal you are as well. Because if your kingdom got conquered, or if there were a war with your kingdom,
Yeah.
it'd be like take the blacksmith out, take all the weapons out.
Oh man, getting Game of Thrones
You know what I
vibes.
mean? Whereas Baker,
Yeah.
Everybody
well,
left.
apart from when he burnt down all of London.
yeah. it was tasty bread though,
Yeah.
flame grilled.
Flame.
Just going into inventions, I want to sloot there. We'll go back to thinking later. Like I said, we've got 2 vague topics, so keep it mixed up. Because I've just got it in my head. It's been going around
Yeah,
loads and loads. But
Knock yourself out, man.
Go for it, bro.
We
But-
believe.
right,
You can
inventions.
do it.
Sorry, John.
What do we think is one of the most pointless? This is each.
Oh,
one
yeah.
Pointless,
of the most
go on.
pointless,
I've got a
and,
pointless
and then
one.
the other one is like one of the most. I'm not going to say individually good for you because different days, different inventions are handy, but more what one done loads. You know what I mean? Like if you talk about human growth, like on the ladder, not one was like big jump.
I'm going to go straight off with a good one. The internet.
Go on, I'll go after you.
The internet has done miracles for
so you're thumbing up the internet, yeah?
Yeah.
Exactly. Good.
That's fair.
Can I thumbs down something?
Good.
Selfie sticks. But the thing is, right, selfie sticks went massive and did a big business and great for whoever invented them and probably fucking bang on driving a Lamborghini now, cunts. But they're pointless.
Yeah.
Here's a way, it's a big fad, it's like, here's a way to take a totally unnatural picture of you and your fucking shit family in front of a fucking field or something. Like,
the thing with a selfie stick is it took away the ability when you're on holiday at a nice place to have the social interaction and go, oh, sorry, do you mind taking a photo for us?
Yeah.
So it's like, I can just do it myself.
This happened to me and Stevie when we went to Tenerife. We come out to mini golf and we was in this like fucking great town with there's palm trees on the street. There was nice cars you could rent like Mustangs. It's fucking awesome. And this woman was like, can you take a picture of me on my phone? So I was like, Stevie can do it. And she took a picture of her. But it's just like this woman standing next to a tree and it's like, I was like, pretty sure she come from this area. But maybe she come from mainland Spain, I don't know. Because it was like
was she on her phone or was she standing next to the tree posing?
So she's like kind of like like you know the middle-aged woman
in her pants.
Okay,
like you know like the I'm on a camera, you know.
Yeah, cool.
No, she was definitely in her pants.
You know, like your mates, your mate's mum kind of pose. Sort of.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, but exactly. But I think it's a nice because I was really weird with.
I liked that. It was nice.
Yeah. But I think it's a weird like social media thing as well. Like there's a fine line between what you were saying earlier about like people showing their best life, showing that. But at the same point, I do quite like it. My mate Gino. Yeah, you know Gino, and I don't see him often, but he always posts Instagram stories, and it's like, it sounds really weird, but in this sort of life we live, we don't really get to see a lot of people when you're working and you're busy and you're ill and blah blah blah. It's nice to sort of like have. Every day, pretty much, Gino will give me like
on his life.
3.5 minutes of his life. You know what I mean? It's just like, even if I don't necessarily speak to him, even over text sometimes, I just watch him. It's well nice to have that sort of connection with someone.
Yeah. You're drinking some rum, by the way.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah, go and get the rum going. Oh yeah, he's gonna bust it out.
Straight from Japan. The internet.
Are you just fucking spending rum?
If the internet died now,
are you not?
Oh no, I'm mixing it with some Coke Zero, man.
Well, I was just going into a very valid point there.
Fair.
If the
I was staying very old
if
school.
the
internet
died today, humankind would be absolutely destroyed.
Yeah,
purely
because
just for
all our bank accounts. Go on, man. Yeah, this guy's a fucking champ.
There you go.
But
Nice and dead.
what's actually happening there is everything is going to the internet. All your pictures, all of your information is out there on the internet. People can kind of just grab it if they want. Companies like, do you want to protect your information? Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's if I tick this box, it's not going to happen. If that all just shut down, like it's actually. The only reason why I think it would actually be very bad, really, is because hospital equipment, a lot of it, I think, runs on like a Wi-Fi network and stuff like that. And you got to think how hospitals will cope with that, and that's a really bad thing. But obviously, like economy would probably suffer a bit, you know, online sales and all that. Think how much like online sales Amazon get, and the tax they don't pay, by the way.
Yeah.
But Amazon do everything I need to buy, so I'm not going to stop buying from there.
It's the instantaneous crash. I think it would be the worst thing that sent people
into panic. You think it would revert back to like the 50s where high streets were booming?
Depression. No, because everyone had a load of money. They can't spend the money online. Everyone would be rich.
That's what I'm saying. Do you reckon the high streets
would
then
crash?
Start booming again?
That'd be a crash, wouldn't it? If everyone just couldn't spend money.
I think it'd be a weird one where it would just get fixed. Sounds really stupid, but people
quick,
know...
somebody call the internet fixer.
No, but it got made, and there's smarter people or people that are more into it than us that just know how to make it again, and it would be a case of just like, unless you destroyed the internet and then took away all our resources and stripped every phone cable out of the whole world, then people would just be like, let's make it again.
I think a few
www.2.
I think a few businesses would suffer, because think about the amount of conference calls they do over fucking Skype, or like probably Discord now. Discord probably actually is used in businesses. Feedback, and that's quite good to think. Like a lot of gaming industries probably, because people who work in gaming industries, like you know, they're making a new Borderlands game, they're making a new Skyrim game, not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. You know what I mean? But they're making all these games, and I bet they're all proper gamers themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So their business probably revolves around talking on Discord. And that's quite innovative. Imagine if the internet just went.
You would lose
Cloud
Rocket
storage.
League, primarily online.
Yeah.
Fortnite would go down. It's literally an online game.
No, but that's just games. But I'm talking about like traffic
Here's
lights.
conspiracy theory.
You know what I mean?
Here's either a conspiracy theory or a very shit film plot. So the internet
This
on
transcendence all
the
over again.
internet, the internet on the whole world goes down, which obviously the internet must do some sort of signal. Do you want coke with that, man?
That's just cool, man.
Lots of rum.
Okay. So the internet goes down on the world, and then when it comes back up, obviously it creates kind of like it's back again, like a pulse, maybe like a signal.
Yeah.
So then a faraway alien race finds it, sees it, and they notice us and come and visit, obviously, and then that could be like a
Do you
film.
think they'll send us a friend request?
Yeah, they're just
like-
be on Facebook.
Just like aliens
Ding,
from
dong, dong, dong.
aliens from another galaxy. Yo, how you?
You okay, hum?
We moved to. What you been up to?
What's up?
They'll be able to tell us the weather. before we-
BRB.
They'll be like
Motif.
PC for PC,
Follow.
and it's just some like fucking blob with one massive eye. Just like, oh shit, this don't look like CGI.
You look strong and brave.
Strong and brave. I admire your versatility.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think so. Go on, Paul. Have you got a particularly bad one?
go on
One that you
in.
thought was
Bad
yeah,
one?
probably
Yeah,
similar.
watch it.
I'm going to
That's good,
say
before that.
the most pointless invention that I think is bloody get rid of headphone jacks.
Well,
It's not really
see,
an
the
invention,
thing.
but-
Sorry, Paul's got a phone, right?
I know, and it's
a Huawei
the most frustrating
P20 Pro.
I know them feels.
thing.
Is it a Pro?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's a Huawei P20 Pro, but you can't just plug your headphones in.
Yeah, what's
How fucking professional is that? Well done,
Yeah, it's
Huawei.
like, let's
And
make everything
this is the same
one
company.
connector. It's like, well, that's great.
This is the same company that uploaded a giant banner ad that was meant to be a massive thing, and it said at the bottom, uploaded from iPhone. That guy got sacked.
Yeah.
For real.
That's what I mean. Why invent something that can only use one connector?
Why do it?
It's exactly stupid.
If you're going to do it, at least get an add-on that gives you like an XLR port, so you've got like true fucking audio.
To be honest, I think it's
If you're
trying
going to do it, go big.
I think it's trying to be too 21st century because it's got Bluetooth on it. It's just
We're-
like buy
we're-
Bluetooth
yeah,
headphones.
yeah, yeah.
You know
We're
what I mean? Like,
innovative. We
money making,
yeah,
isn't
Oh
it?
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
no! Oh no! Shit invention! Shit invention! I've got one. I've got a shit invention. The earbuds, the new iPhone earbuds, the ones, the wireless.
Yeah, I've seen
Right,
that with them.
you're gonna lose them. You're gonna
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
You're gonna stamp
You're
on them.
going to lose them.
You're going to lose them. And you know
I
what as
predict.
well? You know what as well? Well, they're so fiddly. They're so
Yeah.
You need a lead on that shit.
How about these?
And they run out of battery.
You can buy
Yeah.
another
How the
pointless
fuck do
thing.
you
They'll be
charge
charged
this?
for
They charge when you plug them into the holder.
You fuck that.
Another
My
pointless
headphones
invention.
don't need charging.
Ever.
Pointless invention. You can buy chocolate moulds of your bumhole.
Oh yeah.
Why?
No. Sorry.
How
No.
does that
That's not pointless.
It is.
That is not pointless.
I don't want to eat my
You
bum.
could get your girlfriend. You could get your girlfriend's ass as a joke. It would be funny. You could get your mate's ass for his stag do. That's funny. No, that's funny.
Pointless,
That has humour.
Pointless.
That's humour. It's not pointless because you can do it with tits as well. I think you can do it with your cock as well.
Exactly.
You can do a cock mould and you get your Valentine's Day, mate. It's already gone, but you could have done a great gift there. You know, here's my penis in chocolate.
Penis and bum.
Enjoy it. Chop it down.
I
on
give
my
you the
penis.
whole set.
My bum
Hopefully you
goes to
swallow it all.
Yeah, you know.
Sexy.
Go on.
Yeah.
Got a pointless invention.
Pointless. I had a good invention, but I'm trying to think of pointless.
Go on,
Go
good.
good. What's your good?
Straight off the bat, alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You were saying about the internet. You were saying about bringing people together.
Fuck yeah.
What brings people together more than alcohol?
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
Do you think-
sorry. He punched me on the. He punched me right in the face when we was drinking once, years ago.
Yeah, he brought his hand closer together with your face. Yeah.
Alcohol is a good invention.
This was a good invention! Oh, it's pretty
Do you
pointless.
know-
It's not
do you
moving.
Do you remember how fucking
Uh,
derailed, mate? Derailed. Let's go back. Come on.
Where was we?
I think a bad invention, or a bad pointless invention, probably
What
like,
tangents?
it's hard to think, isn't it?
it's because there's like you said, there's so many. But I'll throw one out there. I'll just go straight out of the blue, and I'll probably go with.
Let's talk about phones on there. What the fuck? Why are you talking about phones?
It's an interesting one.
You know what? Just because of how shit it was, like it's probably good or whatever, but just because how much he got kicked, his ass got kicked so soon after it come out. Mini disc.
Oh god, yeah, that was literally the most pointless thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out mini discs just because
Mini disc.
It was the random thing where I'd lived with CDs for a long period of time, like 10, 15 years, whatever, of CDs.
But
and then it literally went,
mini,
mini discs. Oh, this is new. This is cool. And then a year later, it was like, oh, MP3 is already better. And it's like, oh.
You're talking about when you open a disk drive computer, there's like the circles, isn't there?
Mm.
You got the smaller one.
Yeah,
what the fuck was up with that?
They basically
So they could fit them into cereal boxes. Do you remember when you used to get shit in cereal boxes?
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh,
Conspiracy man, they quit it for a reason.
It's just the fact of
Simpsons.
how short their tenure was. Like,
Yeah.
if Pokemon come out and then say Digimon, the less popular or less like whatever one. If Digimon was out first and was like a craze,
Yeah.
and then 6 months later Pokemon come out and then lasted for 10 years, it'd be like, oh, Digimon was shit. You know what I mean? Like, someone just perfected it, and it's just like, it's the opposite of CDs. I think people were like, it's already really thin, it's already whatever. I'd much rather just like to buy a whole new CD player, just have it slightly smaller. You're not actually changing the format, you're just making it slightly smaller or half the size. It's like a smaller cassette. It didn't make a smaller cassette because it would still be a cassette. Yeah. Still has the same problems and issues.
Say cassette again.
Cassette.
Yeah, cassette. Cassette. Cassette.
And cassette.
Cassette. Oh, what's a bad invention then? Wicker fucking baskets. No, wicker baskets are sick, man.
As long as Nicolas Cage ain't burning in them, they're alright. Yeah.
Oh, could we say Nicolas Cage is a good invention?
He's both.
Because of the
He's
funniness of... not the bees, not the bees!
Yeah, oh, man, that's from that movie.
Or the one where it's like, have you ever been so drunk that you're sitting on a cycle? Piss! Blood! Fucking Nicolas Cage. I don't know. What's a bad invention? Looking at your lights, actually, Christmas lights are a bad invention. Fuck Christmas lights. That's
I'm going to say
view.
self-driving cars.
Yeah,
Until they perfect them.
We was talking about the
invention.
morality, weren't we?
Yeah,
Weren't we talking about the
yeah.
morality of a self-driving car? If it has to choose someone or another person in the event of when there's only two options, they have to swerve or brake. They're a bad invention. People are bad at driving, but they're better at driving than a computer that doesn't know whether to save a 2-month-old baby and a mum or an old 76-year-old lady that's probably going to die the next month anyway. You know, the self-driving car's not going to know that. You're not gonna know, you're just going to act how you probably should in that situation because you've learned how to drive.
No, but a person, if you're going at the speed where you can't save both of them, a human ain't going to be able to make the decision either.
But they're going to act how you should act, how we know we should act. A computer's not going to know that. A computer's just going to calculate.
If humans should act like that, then kids didn't never get run over. And they get run over.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is
you know what I mean.
no less effort
obviously, you're going to
than a
slam on
computer.
your brakes and your clutch when you see someone come out in front of you. That's why you don't drive fast.
Mm.
You drive fast where you can. You know,
Yeah.
within legally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul does all the time.
Every time.
Illegally. Legally. We go on racetracks though, so that's where we go.
Yeah, all the time.
No, all
Don't
I'm
overheat
saying
my
is,
car.
the computer not being able to do something is true, but I'm saying the human can't either. Like, I have faith in computers that, other than spiritual shit or emotional shit and stuff like that we haven't really done enough stuff with it yet, in terms of just computing, like, and making a right or wrong decision, like, or making a decision at least, whether it's right or wrong. Computer beats us, like, and has done since like the 80s.
Calculator though, isn't it? And it's like,
literally.
You don't have the human attachment there. You don't have the emotional. You don't have the feel.
No,
like,
it's
how you feel about
it.
it is a calculation, and there is something that you cannot calculate, and that is human emotion. That is human morals. You can't calculate that.
That's what I mean, but if it's smart enough and it is more than us, maybe not this current one they've got, but say even 10 years' time, it wouldn't crash ever.
But how you going
to choose who it kills? You know what I mean? It just would never crash.
You say maybe, but how are you going to calculate that when you could say that it's subjective? Like, morally, something might be right to you and wrong to Mark.
That's what I'm saying, but not killing anyone is not subjective.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like well, it shouldn't be.
What are you saying that there are murderers about?
No. What I'm saying is, your argument was the fact of you couldn't
There's
choose,
been a killing spree.
Couldn't choose between an old lady and a young girl.
Oh,
what I'm saying is, it would be smart enough that it wouldn't crash in the first place, like into or young boy or old woman. It would just be like always driving at 35 or 35 zone.
Yeah, it would have like somehow scan the area so it can see before they even step out that they're going to be there.
Because we need another one, I think. Or invention or something.
So go on. So you've had bad and good. I've had bad. I'll do a good one. I'll go.
Pretzels are a good invention.
I'm gonna go super like old school nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
but it's more of an invention of a process rather than an invention of a thing.
Sex.
Like cooking.
Well, yeah.
In terms of like eating raw meat and berries and being like,
yeah, man.
dear tata.
Cook up some venison, my man.
Because
definitely.
I think from what medium amount of research I've done, that seemed to be a huge changing point in human culture and human everything. Because when we didn't have to spend days digesting raw meat and raw crops, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then it probably, well, not my days, but it took you like most of the day to even digest it. So you spent half the day hunting it, half the day digesting it, and then that's all you could do.
You probably just upset a lot of vegans.
Well, even preparing corn and stuff, or like or any sort of food. If you cook it, it takes it softens the cell membrane down, and you can digest it better. And that gave humans more time to create and invent and talk and do stuff, because they weren't just hunting, eating, sitting there being like, oh, my stomach hurts from eating like loads of raw meat and having trouble processing.
Now, do you think though? Again, it's alcohol is the same thing. It's one of the things that they've just stumbled upon rather than invented.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Drop a bit of meat on a fire.
Most inventions are. It's really weird, but like penicillin, like fibre optics, some of these stuff is invented by accident. I think it's harsh to say it, but some of the best inventions
are just accidents.
Well, some of the worst not worst, but like not core inventions are the ones by the guys that tried really hard. Like, I remember Dyson. Don't get me wrong, Dyson, cool.
Do you remember the Hoover guy?
Yeah. He spent, I think, don't quote me on it.
They're good Hoovers, man.
They are, but I think he wanted to make a good Hoover and spent like 8 to 10 years solidly trying to make a good Hoover. And fair enough, it worked, but it's like, you spent 10 years of your life making a better Hoover. No, but you know what I mean?
Do you know that advert? That advert where it's like, we now start making cordless vacuums, and he's like proper smug about it. Yeah. And it's like, who gives a fuck?
It's what I'm saying, but imagine like, it's that thing, if he goes down in history, it's like, so what did you spend your like brief click of existence doing? Well, I made it so people have slightly more convenient ways to hoover dust from their house. It's just like...
For all those nitty gritty getting every bit.
Like, I mean, each to their own, and fair play to the world being diverse and having people like that, because it gives us Dysons. But
God, that life must be done.
Well, there's not going to be a Dyson movie, and if there is, goddamn.
Oh god.
You know what I mean?
Dyson movie, did you say?
I said there's not going to be one. You know what I mean? Because there's no interest in it.
You had the biopic of the guy that fucking invented Dyson Hoovers. I'll fucking jog on.
And it'll be by some actor that, like, by that point, by the time the guy who's made him, the Dyson guy, dies. It would be maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 years in the future, so you probably have like a washed up Tom Hardy playing the Dyson guy, just like, I just wanted the fucking Hoover stuff.
Can I say
fucking sausage, you know what I mean? No bags.
I think, you know what a bad invention is? If you're into cars, you might either hate me for saying this or love that I've said this. Bad invention is a Honda Civic.
No, I like Civics.
I always heard they were like supercars.
Fuck off, no.
Honestly.
Honda Civics create this culture that I hate.
Go on.
And it's like they think they're so bad boy with a Honda Civic Type R. And it's like they put a big exhaust on it and it's like, oh yeah, it makes it sound like a fucking wet fart. And it's like, jog the fuck on. Yeah, they're kind of quick. They're not the slowest cars, but they're not the fastest. They're not nearly as fast as they think they are. There's a lot on the road that can beat them that is affordable.
Yeah.
And the fact that they think they're so bad, man. They think they're so bad, man. And they put the biggest sub they can find. It's like, cool, we're going to put your shop in, you dickhead.
Yeah, car modding. I mean? Yeah, car modding in general, I think a bit like that. Like
you
Postman
know,
Pat.
No, car modding.
Postman Pat. Okay, right, yeah.
Bless you, BG. No,
Pat van.
Definitely the best. We've settled it, guys. We found it. You can die happy now. But no, it's just car modding. I like. There's ways you can mod your car and it still becomes a well-functioning car, and you can appreciate the effort you put into it. But the shit they do to these Honda Civics, and it pisses me off. They think they're so bad, man. And it's like, bad ban. I'm a bad ban.
It's the equivalent. It's just the nowadays equivalent of having a fucking golden buckle on your horse, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, cool, man. It's still a horse.
Gracie drives Top Gear's favourite car.
Oh, well, she's got the big badass.
Is it? It's not the Dacia. No, not the Dacia. The
indestructible one.
No.
The Toyota Hilux.
No. Dacia Sandero.
Did she actually drive a Sandero? Oh, Gracie, I want to drive it.
Beast.
In that, shall we segue onto the old?
I'll do a little one actually if I can nick a bit more face.
Yeah.
Shall we segue onto the Yum Yums?
Oh, is it time for Yum Yum?
I think it is.
This is a cigarette, so I don't know.
I'll put it up there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah.
What Yum Yums have you got today for us?
Oh, we've got two. We actually got two double Yum Yums. We've got Mark's fantastic,
well
bagged fucking Bon Appetitas.
It's a double yum yum night,
And
Mark
to be
is here
honest,
to experience.
My Yum Yums, I've got a feeling they're going to fail in comparison to that. Although they could be like a dark horse,
I haven't
basically.
even seen it.
Marks and Spencers.
Come on.
Very early on in our tenure, on this podcast, we had the Chocochinos.
Oh,
Hello.
I found the exact same shop, exact same looking, exact same packaging.
the shop.
But blueberry.
Oh shit!
Blueberry chinos.
Just generally blueberry.
Oh
Let's just have the-
shit!
Blueberry
This
chip.
sounds amazing.
But yeah, so hopefully they're alright. But to be honest, Marks look absolutely fucking.
they look banging. They look banging.
delicious.
Do you want to get the cupcake out and show it to the camera?
Oh yeah, go on. Show off. Fraser's there in his pants. Right on.
Fraser in his pants, he's in his cupcake.
The camera's up there.
Yeah, he's showing it to the microphone.
Look at this weird camera.
hang on. Listen to the cupcake.
If you listen, you can taste.
Basically, it's like party ring.
It does look really, really nice.
Yeah,
And to be honest, these look a bit blandy considering
Extremely
blueberry
moist.
I like stuff like
Oh, they got the moist.
cupcake.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the exact same style as the Chocochinos, but blueberry.
They've got that moistness, Paul. Don't you worry about that, sunshine.
Underpants. Oh yes, okay, right. Gotcha.
Whose underpants what?
Gracie's going to be called Underpants Rocket League later.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
Can you make a Captain Underpants and then we'll be happy?
Captain.
And then you can be like, I've got to go brush
Isn't
my
that
teeth.
copyright infringement?
Probably. No, on Steam.
Don't sue
Get
us,
whatever
anyone.
on Steam.
Yeah. And there's a guy called Genghis Khan.
Yeah,
And
The Rock.
God.
The
Well, you
Rock
can't
as well, I told you about him.
copyright Genghis
I
Khan.
mean, you can.
No, you can't. He's like hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Yeah, but they have the profile picture of Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
It's-
Do you know,
It's
like
a
anything
was
becomes
Genghis Khan.
public? Anything becomes public property
Public domain,
after like 100 years.
yeah.
So Genghis Khan, I think,
No.
you can probably use it.
If you re-copyright it before like, it expires, then it's fine.
Or parody.
No, that makes no sense.
You can parody
100
anything that
100
gets
years,
over all
don't.
copyright laws because you just say you're parodying it.
Hmm.
And you can't get copyrighted for it. I'm going to say we go for the blueberry muffins first,
Oh shit.
purely just because I always think it's never about eating something and eating something shitter. And I think Mark's ones, I don't know,
They
as soon as
do
you
good.
showed me it
We
once,
did say we got 2 each.
Did you get 2 as well?
no, this is just
Oh,
one.
we have 2.
We've actually got 2 left, so we're gonna have to split 2 in half. And then we can-
Oh no, I don't. I'm good with one. Man.
Sure.
Oh shit, here we
They smell
go.
nice, to be fair.
Oh, these
Oh,
are.
this one
Oh,
is
that's
different.
soft.
It's
These
the
are.
exact same as the Chocochinos, but blueberry.
Alright, let's do
It
this.
should be the same
You know
sort of
what, then?
texture.
I better
Blueberry
get the ratings
chino.
up ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see if I got the order correct.
Oh, that blueberry goodness.
Ooh.
No,
Ooh,
it's
that's good.
all
It's soft.
On the top as well.
Mm.
It's so
Feels like a nipple.
It does a little bit. It really does.
It does
So-
feel like a
It really
nipple.
does.
Paul, for this one, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Obviously,
Actually munched it yet,
and
so-
I'm just saying, I'm letting you know
I
you're
don't
the
know what it is
first
with muffins, but I always go for the breaking
the
it
taste.
rather
Yeah.
than just the.
Yeah,
Oh, that is so moist.
Mm.
that's that's
Oh,
squidgy,
have a-
isn't it?
see a little cross section going on again.
Look at that.
Yummy.
Oh man,
Yeah, they're ridiculously soft.
Mm.
like a tit.
Chili muffin.
They are really. It's like a blue tit, I suppose, if it's blueberry.
Yeah!
They can
Now.
get a name for it.
I'm going to go my rating straight off.
Oh, going in balls deep.
6.
Yeah.
Reason
Straight up
behind that?
6.
Like the Chocochinos, they're almost too moist. It's the
Mm.
whole off the
Peanut-
top of your
peanut
mouth
butter
again.
mouth.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah, they get
But
that
the
shovel.
flavour is very nice.
Mm.
It's just that whole...
I get
We
that.
get stuck to the top of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that sometimes with pot baked cookies.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's soft in the middle. It's like, yeah, but I want them cooked. Like, don't get me wrong, I like it when it's got a bit of something to it, but at the same point, I don't eat one and be like, oh, starch belly. Why are you not cooked properly? Yeah, no. You know what? I'm going to go straight in with Paul and double up on the 6. And
So
for
it's what?
pretty much
Oh.
the exact, no, yeah. But for pretty much the exact same reason. I think the flavour's nice. The smells are almost better than all of it. When I first opened the pack up, the smell was fucking lovely. And the taste is good, but for my personal preference of a cake, I like a moist cake, but I don't want like a borderline. It feels like I sort of like dropped it in the sink quickly and picked it up.
Yeah, that's
super moist.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah, that's pretty
moist.
much what it is.
Moist is funny. I'm going to go with that as well. Actually, a 6. You took the words right out of my mouth. So I think it's going to be unanimous. But let's see what Mark
I think I'm
says.
going to lower the bar. I'm going to go with 5.
Yeah.
Because I don't
No,
know if
it's
you guys
fine.
are the same, but almost you put it in your mouth expecting an explosion of taste, and then there's not really much
Because
there.
the smell is so intense as
Yeah,
well.
the
You
smell,
smell it
like-
and you're like, oh, it's going to be
it's
so
gonna be
blueberry.
yummy,
and then you eat it and
you're like, where's the yum?
it's more like sugary
You know what
bread.
makes me
Tastes a bit
laugh
like
about
sugar bread.
that? that's like trash talk.
Yeah, I say
because
like
you both
average.
bought food. You both bought
he's
food.
No.
My
cupcakes will dominate your
Yeah,
blueberry
literally,
Cheetos.
he's actually like saying his food's better. I wouldn't take that, man. It's your house, man. I'll take.
I'm not
take
gonna-
your territory back.
If
The icing
the
on that.
cupcakes didn't look that good, I'd have like half a leg to stand on there.
It's the real
I just
icing
knew.
on the cake.
I already knew I'd lost by the time I saw him, and the
Trousers.
bag as well. The fancy bag.
It's like he's rubbing your face in the dirt, though, man. Like you said all the shit, and then it was just like, yeah, this
No,
is
but-
shit, Fraser.
Rubbing it
Come
in.
on, Mark.
No, don't make me feel bad.
No.
Don't say shit.
Yeah. He's rubbing it in with his elbow, but it's because he's got the fucking top
Wait.
dog.
And let me dip it into some rum.
Don't do that.
Oh, okay. Mark's gonna. You know what? This is
Add a
worse.
bit of something
Much
to it.
better.
Was that as bad as the cat food
That was actually
incident?
really good.
Mm.
I'm not kidding. That was actually really
Yeah,
tasty.
But then was it super soggy? Sort of
No.
No more soggy than it was.
No,
yeah.
which is weird. Yeah, it was like.
Do you remember the cat food incident?
Oh, vaguely. Right.
Years and years ago, right? Cat food on the trumpet.
Is that when you locked him in the
Was
cupboard?
it like that? Sort of, was it like that sort of
Was it his nan's
moistness?
house when we locked him in the cupboard?
Oh yeah, I got locked in a cupboard.
But it
I
wasn't
ate
yeah,
just
cat
in the
food.
that's it,
cupboard. It was
perfect
like there was a
explanation,
bottom
Chris.
bit to the cupboard, and we had him crouched down under it, and we locked him in.
Had some good times.
It's
The
had the
cat
Great
food
British
when you
Bake
ate
Off,
it, I
really
do
not
remember
quite,
that.
but
What's an
His
RL
skills.
skill? What's an
Yeah.
RL skill?
Oh, Gracie is relentless. man.
Rocket League.
Rocket League skills, not a
Yeah.
real life skill then.
No, no.
No,
I'm
that's a
gonna
real life
have
skill.
many
It's a
I'm
real life
gonna-
skill. I'll take it.
Ooh.
Yeah, he drives down the road just
Oh.
bang.
He's a very
Oh,
British
everywhere.
muffin.
Paul is going in hard.
Oh, yeah.
And
Pull
I've got to
straight
say,
in.
I'm still eating at the crumbs. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I like this one. I like the look at this one.
no, but the thing is, you've got to be strict on it as well. If you know, what I mean, not strict, but when you're rating them,
God.
it's just very much like
Oh god, this
what
is
it's all
going to taste
about.
ridiculous. Paul, how is it?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The icing itself is.
Oh, you've had them already.
Oh, I get them all the time. Rachel always brings these back. Alright, here we go.
Oh, it's like a little face. I only just gathered that.
Oh, yeah.
Smiley.
Oh, it looks a bit.
Actually, a little face.
My guy's
Looks
eye is a
evil,
bit
the
more-
orange light, but
Oh, my eye fell off. And half my face. Oh no.
And party ring biscuits are underrated as well.
Mmm.
Piratey goodness.
Apparently you got rockets on the back of your car. You couldn't tell. It's slow.
It's
Gracie,
just really
man.
loud.
You dodge aim. You dodge aim slow.
Alright, here we go.
Now, that icing,
It's fucking ridiculous.
it's really tasty.
It is. I don't even know what flavour it is. I think it's vanilla.
But, I'm going to throw out there, could do with some little chocolate chips or something inside the cake.
Agreed.
It's not that type
Oh,
of
that
cake
would make
though.
it way better.
No, but, if you wanted to.
It's really weird. At very first, when I bit into it, I was like, "This cake's really dry."
Mm.
Mm.
In
Then-
the icing here.
Only 1 or 2 seconds passed, and I was like, "No, this is actually how I like cakes." But the other one was so moist before that I'd literally gone from moist cake, overly moist cake, into normal cake. It tasted dry, but then
Yeah.
after sitting on it for a while, it's just like, no, it's just the cake texture.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just normal cake.
it's just definitely not as moist as like
Mm.
wet-o blue cake.
Fuck
Blue
yeah.
Regina. No, they're good though.
Mm.
Come on.
The icing's
they're
the
your
one,
cakes,
man.
you need to be honest.
That item's a different level.
Mm.
It's
That's
very
right.
long lasting. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, you don't just put it in and it's like, poof. Gone. you get to sit there like,
You don't just put
Mama
it in.
knows how to treat the mouth.
You don't just put it in and then like boof. Now you're talking about your mama. Jesus. We went to a place.
Because I brought them, it's hard to give them a high rating, so I'm going to go with...
I'd do it, man. I went high on good shit. If it's good, it's good.
Do you know what? I'd say these are as good as the Tutu, so I'm going to go with an 8.
You see what she
Yeah.
said?
Hard.
I can see
eight.
that.
Hard eight! Yay!
Last one we did, and you weren't here. We did. I think someone did a hard 8.
I think this deserves.
It was in
We all
tribute,
did
it was in
hard
tribute
eight.
to Mark. Yeah, we literally it was just that tribute.
Hard eight.
It was a hard 8.
Hey, it was, yeah.
I kind of regret missing it, like, just for that tasty yumness.
Oh man, like I said, there's always going to be times when one of us is busy in it.
Mm.
The rest just carry on.
You know
Keep
what?
it alive.
I'm probably gonna go for a bit of an 8 as well on them.
Damn.
I'm at 7.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not a hard 8, but.
You got half a party ring, so we gave half a point.
Yeah.
You're going 7.5.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to throw the
That's still
0.5 in
high.
there. You fucking bastard.
It's still high.
You're still high.
I think. The
Fraser, go on, man.
got my calculator in hand.
Lay it all over us.
I
Don't
think
have hand. That's my finger in hand.
no, my finger in hand is.
And then you just climb up inside of her and wear her like a fucking mask.
I actually do like a backdrop and like WWE, backdrop like that, and then it's just like up top rope. They love it, don't worry. But it's weird. It's an 8, but I'm going to tell you how I come to the 8. I think the cake itself was. Oh, yeah, this is going to be extreme, but I'm going to fucking say it.
Oh my
The cake itself was like a solid 6.
Yeah,
actual like cake.
Yeah.
But that icing bumped it.
Icing was a 10, man.
That icing was a good.
Yeah.
The party ring's cool, the other stuff cool,
Yeah.
but I didn't really care about that. But just the actual icing, I first touched it and I was like, oh, it's going to be like hard icing. You know what I mean? Like solid icing.
yeah.
And it sort of is.
Yeah.
It's not like completely like cream.
Oh,
you know
it
what I mean?
crumbles and
Oh, mate,
creamy.
as soon as that
Absolutely,
started
yeah.
going in and dissolving in my mouth, I've never... The only person who's ever done icing as good as that is fucking Nick from Cineworld. But it's that level.
She does decent cakes.
Yeah.
But it's that level. But it's and I think when you're saying about not inventing anything anymore, you're not also going to make better icing than that.
No,
I can't say Nick's is better or that's better. Like, that's just pinnacle icing.
That is the.
That is 10.
I got acid on my face.
So, but because the cake was down, 6, between 6 and 10, 8.
Yep, fair.
I feel like in a test where it's like, show your workings.
I won.
He gone out. He just.
What's that? 31.5 overall.
Well, no. For blueberry,
8.
Oh yeah, blueberry wasn't, no.
hang on, for blueberry, 6, 12, 18, 73 divided by 4. What's 23 divided by 4, guys?
Don't
Wow.
If it was 24, it'd be 6.
It's like 6.
So just say 6 average for blueberry.
Yeah.
So blueberry,
5.75.
doing well, but then the cupcakes.
Yeah, 6.
The temptation.
So that's 8,
Is
24, 21.5, 31.5, sorry.
Yeah, so if we round up,
So what's the average?
There we go.
No, it's 32.
Divide by 4. 8.
yeah.
Nice. Cupcakes are up there. We need the magnet board.
Wait, so what did the blueberries get? They must.
They got 6 average.
Yeah.
Cupcakes got an 8. So yeah, I think muffins and cupcakes are both good inventions.
Mm,
Yeah,
at that
both
point,
done
is
well.
when the next sort of stage of evolution will happen.
That's like the whole, you only use a certain percentage of your brain. And they made that film like Lucy or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Scarlett
Same as
Johansson,
the other one as well, the
where she,
Guy version of it, effectively.
yeah, where it's like she can use more percentage of her brain. No, that's not how it works.
No.
What actually happens is you only use a certain percentage of your brain at a certain time because you're using a different part of your brain. So
Yeah.
when you're doing a certain task, like picking something up, you're
You
using
use like the back left or
something.
whatever, yeah.
Then when you're talking or figuring a problem out, you're using your left or right. I
I
don't
know
know.
the memory is basically here. All your memories and.
That's why if you get knocked in the head there,
Yeah,
like
you
lose
I'd always
like
assume it'd be like the back.
Nah,
of
that's
your
right.
head,
I don't-
towards
when
the
you-
side.
So like
To be fair,
hippocampus.
I got like knocked out once and I like, hit the pavement and that's what knocked me out as well. So drunk. Just casually, yeah, just got knocked out once. No, and hit my head on the pavement and I woke up in like the hospital in the A&E bit and I was just like, oh, I'm going home. I was with Stevie. It was like
Yeah.
night after the square and I was like, no, fuck this, I'm going home. So that was kind of concussion.
Yeah.
But that was like from the back of my head.
But then that pushes the front of your brain forward.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and it kind of smudges it
Okay,
against
makes
like, the
sense.
skull,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it just kind of goes.
The main reason, I think the easiest way of figuring out the brain is every creature that's got a spine, which is a lot of creatures, has the back bit because it connects to it. So that's the most primitive bit.
Yeah.
And then the more forward it is, the
That's
more
why when
sort
you
of
break-
cultured it is, like memories
Yeah.
and feelings
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that, will be
language
more
and
closer to
stuff.
the front.
Yeah.
It's the mandibular and oblongata. It's the bit that connects to the spine.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's called the reptile brain because anything reptile and above, like in terms of intelligence, because reptiles really stupid.
Yeah.
Anything reptiles and above has got that like fight or flight.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
basically just
Yeah.
like, it knows what to
It's
fuck.
like
It
Very
knows
black
what to
and white
fight.
mentality.
Yeah, it knows what to fuck, knows what to
Yeah.
fight, knows what to run away from.
Yeah.
And knows what to eat, sort of.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
Funny to say that was on the day of my interview, I was sitting in the car before I got on the train, and there was a pigeon, and I was like, "How do you think that the pigeons know what to eat? They're going to just try everything until they're like, nah, that's not good, that's not food."
a little bit of both. I
Do you think we were like that at one point.
Yeah, but I don't think we were necessarily. We were like
Definitely
that
says what I think
because
it
of
is.
evolution, but because
People
I think
think
by
of
the
it,
time we
yeah,
were
for
Homo
sure.
sapiens, which is what we are now,
I thought I was reading
we
that
probably did explore a bit. Because even monkeys will check. You know what I mean? Like monkeys are less than us, and they'll look at a grape and squeeze it a bit and smell it. You know what I mean? They get a rough idea. Whereas like stuff like birds or like lizards will just be like lick it, no, lick it, no, lick it. That's alright.
They literally do just try it.
Well, I dropped you off, didn't I, at Epping Station to. Sorry, I fell asleep by the way later in the evening, but luckily you got picked up. But dropped him off, and we were just sitting there having a cigarette before he like got out, went to his train, and we're just like talking about this pigeon we could see at the windscreen. It's like Paul was like, "How do you think it knows what's food?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I suppose it's not totally dumb, but obviously, if you watch a pigeon, what they do is they pick anything up, and they kind of do this thing where they taste it, and then they either spit it out and shake their head, and then they find like a chip, and they're like, "Oh, fuck it."
I'm gonna repeat peck that.
Yeah.
It's like I suppose humans are kind of like that. You know, when there's like people that aren't fussy with food. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll try that. No, I don't like that. Yeah. Or well, that's great.
I don't understand this. How people are like so fussy with food. Like, oh, I can't have eggs cooked this way. It's like, well, no, because it's still an egg. Why does it matter how it's cooked? It's still pretty it's the same thing.
I like
or pasta and rice.
Yeah.
You can't like one not like the other. It's like the bigger and smaller of the.
Poached if I'd ever had it. You know, they're all fucking good.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd not agree with that, I agree in terms of like bread or toast.
Yeah.
Because it's just a good version of one, but I wouldn't agree on like
eggy bread.
Well, like recipes, because that's when it's like, oh, I added like chutney into your apple pie, and it's just like
chutney,
not an apple pie.
Chutney in an apple pie. No, see, mango and chutney is good with like a lot of curries and stuff. But like not in an apple pie. Exactly. Apple pie needs to be like quite sweet with that like weird tang of apple. Yeah, love good apple. It's like Power Rangers, it's like blue, red, black, grey.
Grey Ranger.
White.
We need hoodies.
Go
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. Power Rangers was fucking quality back in the day, man.
Yeah, do you remember the first movie?
I was young.
Do you remember Ivan Ooze? In the first one, he goes really big and they have to obviously do the big morph and then just have a big fight.
Yeah. That's, you know what?
Who's the head? Zordon.
Zordon, yeah. And Alpha.
And in the remake, the newer remake, it was Walter White. Bryan Cranston was the big head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently it was quite alright. Like the story was okay up until the end.
You've made me think now. Like, do you know like all the TV shows we watched when we were young, and you watch them now and they're kind of cringy, poorly filmed.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder if the TV we watched as kids is as good for the people our age at that time.
As what they're watching now, do you mean? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think they're going to grow up and go, oh man, do you remember the classic Power Rangers?
You know
Buffy the Vampire
when
Slayer?
you're growing up, you're like...
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the best fucking thing ever. Joss Whedon's a legend.
But that's what I'm saying, have they got that in today's TV?
Well, I suppose it was Twilight for some people.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't got that, but they got Rick and Morty.
Oh, I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's that different generation thing in it, and I think the same people that would like Rick and Morty... Realistically, 50% of them would watch Buffy and think it's alright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Buffy's great.
You know what I mean?
Buffy's so good, and after the series ends, they release comics to carry on the story.
That's cool.
And I read a few of them, and how wicked.
To be honest, anything Joss Whedon's done is fucking savage.
Yeah,
like they did their spin-off shows as well.
Yeah, Angel was okay. Angel, I didn't watch a lot of Angel, but it was alright. Spike was probably the best character in any of those. Fucking sick.
It sounds really weird, but I really like Giles.
Yeah, Giles was a bit of
G.
Xander was funny.
Yeah.
But he's like a fucking druggie and an alcoholic now.
It doesn't surprise
What,
me.
the actual guy?
No, the character lives on.
No, the character lives on. They do a one-shot series.
Vampires, demons!
It's just a GoPro footage of his life. Just like a couple of lines, just, bang off.
Speaking to random, because speaking about something we just spoke about and people going mad. You know, the original Red Ranger went proper mad.
Yeah,
went out to sea and tried to be a pirate.
Wow.
And you can imagine he had some crazy complex where it's just like, oh, you're like Tommy
One
now.
Power Ranger.
Tommy's the leader now, is he?
One Power Ranger
Goes
went on to
muskets
be a
out, like-
porn star.
Really?
One Power Ranger from the originals went on to be a
If
porn
it was,
star.
to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if it was the same guy.
The Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Are we talking guy or a girl?
I don't know, but it's just funny.
Hopefully it's Pink Ranger, damn.
Yeah.
We were a ballerina in
Damn.
No, ballerina in gymnastics.
Yeah.
Maybe they just thought, where can I go?
Does anyone think it's time to address that the Yellow Ranger was an Asian person?
I mean,
Black Ranger's black as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit on the nose, isn't it?
It is, but I think it's like, it's campy. It's campy enough to get away with it.
But it's not like how like Black Panther is Black Panther. That makes sense because Panthers are black. They're called Black Panthers. But when it's just like Black Ranger, it's a black man, and it's like Yellow Ranger, it's an Asian person. I think that's pretty bad. Okay.
It's bad for nowadays, but it's also
God.
it's what I said earlier. It's bad for nowadays, but for them days it weren't. And black people and Chinese people wouldn't have got offended watching it. I don't imagine. You know what I mean? Like they had more pressing matters of like skinheads in the 80s actually like beating them up and shit. They're probably just like, oh, he's coincidentally the black skinned Black Ranger. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Whereas now,
did you guys feel that growing up, like racism wasn't really a big deal?
No.
Yeah.
Growing up, I would hear a lot of jokes about like black people. We've all heard them.
Yeah.
And then I'd hear jokes about white people as well. Jokes about Asian people, any ethnicity.
Yeah, it's because of the whole.
It was just a stigma, and it's like they're just jokes, and like you would know a black person, you would know many black people, you would know many Asian people, and you'd be cool with them. Like you wouldn't they're just jokes. If you can just have a laugh about anything.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
Paul's
it's
got blonde hair, haha. Mark's got a hat on, haha. You know, it's just the same as that.
Yeah, I think it's now because of like obviously past events and the whole equality. Why should you make fun of people just on how they look and stuff like that?
Yeah.
A lot of people more wisened up to that.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was all like sheltered in our little
little pockets
England,
of
yeah,
people.
and it was just like,
Little bubbles of safety and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's
But-
what I felt like as a kid.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I know what you mean, as not as much as a thing. Because I think before we were alive in like the 70s, like racism was quite a big thing, right?
So that's what I think. I think it's like a yearly.
Yeah.
But that was
Some
in like
rounds
a
and rounds
period
of
where
things.
it wasn't broadcast as we are
Like, you
we are
think of-
wrong. It was more of like an accepted thing, and I think that's really bad. And obviously nowadays it's a massive thing, and obviously you've got all the LGBTQ, however I don't even letters
So
want to
that,
put in
he's
there.
an absolute wanker, yeah. But basically he said he'd take his son out hunting and then see if he could swim. But I was thinking, he's blind, how can he hunt? And how can he take him anywhere? He can't
Savage coming back.
Surely the son could just be like, boop, into the river and he
That
wouldn't
kind
get
of
dead.
reminded me of so my ex-girlfriend. She's never going to listen to this. That's fine. No, my ex-girlfriend. One of her nans was like talking about babies once. Was random.
Yeah, yeah.
Very uncomfortable about the whole thing. But she was like, "Yeah, if my first child had been a ginger baby, I would have just drowned him in the river."
Oof.
And I was just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
This like 70-odd-year-old woman just saying this to me, and she's like, she's social, and I'm just like, this is brutal.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
It was really hard, but she used to make really nice tea and cake.
She says things that are really
Drown the
bad.
kid. Drown the
She
kid.
makes good tea.
I was just like, that's fucking savage.
Yeah. That's just, yeah.
That's actually your view.
But
on
that's
it,
kind
you
of
know,
my point.
crazy.
Like we all have the grandparents that are very, very racist.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
don't-
classic grandparents. But I feel like today
Never really had any
people
grandparents.
either bounce around being too careful with it, or they're just But, you
Remember,
know,
my main thing is, and you see a lot of stand-up comedy, yeah. You can talk about it freely and be like that if you're not racist. And I think a lot of the people, these like sort of, I don't like to brandish them under one thing, but like left-wing people,
Yeah.
they're racist, but they want to be seen to be good.
Yeah.
So they want to stop anyone talking about it at all.
Yeah.
Because then that stops them talking about it, which stops them blurting out shit they might be thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me to make a joke about white guy, black guy, disabled guy, tall guy, small guy, whatever, I understand that we're all the same, and like, laughing at someone's difference makes me a target as much as anyone else. Because I'm different. I'm not the same as everybody. You know what I mean? Everyone's different.
Yeah.
No
And I
one
think as long
is
as there's no
normal.
malice to it, as long as there's no like malice or like they can't get the same jobs, they can't do this, or like in terms of equality, take the piss out of everybody, man.
Well, that's the
I mean,
thing. There's no
South
such
Park's
thing as
quality for
normal.
that.
There's no such thing as normal. You
That's what
know?
I'm
If you
saying.
want to be you be you. And it's like if anyone's got a problem with it, then they're the dickhead, not you. Like, you know, sort
And
of thing.
South Park actually taught me that because it's just like when you watch South Park, like they rip Jews and they rip this, but they rip everybody.
Yeah.
Like, over, especially over how long they've been over, like everybody has got it, and it's all been just because there's stereotypes and there's certain characteristics of pretty much every group of people, whether it's ethnicity, whether it's preference, whether it's whatever, that you can rip the shit out of because it's silly. Because humans are fucking silly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well, it's
just,
everything, isn't it? Like, it's in its obviously it's taking the piss out of certain things, but the fact that it's doing it to everyone
because everyone
makes
can
it-
be taken
yeah.
the piss out. Like we're humans, and because we're all the same, we all make
There's
do the silly
banter.
stuff. Like
banter is like it's a deep natured thing in the human race. You've got to have banter. They were having it back in the caveman days. They were having it back in the fucking 1920s on the docks. They had banter.
It's
Yeah.
just
It's
how
just a
stupid-
bit of fun,
yeah,
man.
But yeah, and it's how stupid people are. Like when people rip the right, they'll be like, "Oh, Britain's first." People like this, blah blah. blah. So, yeah, but they're like the ones that you make fun of.
Yeah.
The same with the left. The people that like don't know what they're talking about, and they're just like, oh, we should just have free food and national wage should be £50 an hour. It's just like, but you get stupid guys and everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like you just rip them ones. You know
It's
what I mean? Like,
isn't it?
Didn't show you this, did I?
that is really cool, man. That is really cool. But the ripping of it, it's like almost to rip someone for being any skin colour or ethnicity or whatever their gender is or whatever gender they want to identify as. It's almost like a describing word.
Yeah.
Like I try and use this to explain racism sometimes, or like why it's not racism or sexism or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you've got three people who you all think are a cunt, yeah. Rather than just saying, rather than just saying you're a cunt, you're a cunt, you're a cunt, you can go like,
shit at me.
You're a black cunt, you're a feminist cunt, and you're a fat cunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like it's descripting words.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like,
don't tickle me.
I'm not saying you're a cunt because you're any one of those things. It's just like you're that plus a cunt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I thought so.
All right. Right. Speaking
Super
of.
Goldblum, yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. No. Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
All right. Speaking of him, because he's just made me think.
Go on.
And I think he definitely qualifies as well.
Go on.
Best sort of cameo / niche actor. Because he's definitely in that role where like
Stanley.
he only in loads of movies and he like, but when he comes in, he bosses it.
Yeah.
And I think he's in there. He's not my personal one, but I think he's a good niche.
Chuck Norris in Expendables. Expendables is shit, but when Chuck Norris turns up, it's hilarious.
That's when he's like, he actually like makes fun of his own Chuck Norris jokes.
And it's like, what does he say? Like the viper bit him.
The Cobra, yeah.
The Cobra or saying, and it's like, and it had 10 days to live. Like the Cobra had 10 days to live when it bit him.
It's great.
Chuck Norris jokes might be old, but damn, they are still.
They are.
He is classic. Yeah, mine is Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Oh, what a lad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, my car's
I
alive.
don't know about you guys.
But yeah, very rarely is he actually in a movie starring as it. Occasionally, but very rarely. But he cameos hard, man. Like,
Yeah.
Like that.
True Romance he's in, and he's savage in that. And that's Sicilian Mob Boss.
It's King Louis in Jungle Book.
King Louis in Jungle
What's
Book.
the film?
I had to think about that one.
Pulp Fiction. He plays Bruce Willis's
Stephen
dad. Talks about putting a camera up his arse.
Oh, he's in Pulp
Fuck
yeah,
Lodge.
shit, fuck.
Sleepy
I love
Hollow,
Pulp Fiction,
great film.
man.
And a really, really underrated one, not even a movie. The video to Fatboy Slim song.
Yeah, when he's dancing. Because he used to be a dancer.
Yeah, he's
Do you know?
smooth.
Do you know
He's
what
smooth.
actor's done that recently? Just popped up in a music video. It's Terry Crews.
Yeah, I can't.
Terry Crews is in the new Muse video.
He's
Or one of the new
everywhere.
Muse videos.
He's a G. I love Terry Crews.
It's just Terry Crews pops up in this Muse video.
Does he
It's
do,
mad.
Did he do like weird peck things? 'Cause if he
No,
doesn't-
but I watched a video where it's like 10 questions or whatever,
Mm.
and he does an interview thing. It's funny. And he's just like, I'm still here, baby. And he's like, just fucking doing effects. Oh, Terry Crews is a funny
He's
dude.
everywhere. Like he even hosted America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
Like,
Terry
as the
Crews.
presenter. Like
Did he?
sort of like an
Do you hear about his
You'd even
upbringing?
half watch it in
Oh,
England.
mate,
if
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
the
they
Bruce
do.
Terry
upbringing.
Crews' upbringing was so sad.
I've heard
It's like
that,
mum got
yeah.
like beaten by his dad and all that, and his dad was very abusive, and he's like he had to like basically carry his mum through all this.
Yeah,
He's such a lad, man. I love Terry Crews.
Absolutely. And he's one of those guys, and yeah, this has been racist, but this is a damn compliment.
Hmm.
There's been a handful, maybe more than a handful, of black people that I've met in my life, or known as celebrities. And then it comes out and it's just like, yeah, they're actually like 59. And you're like,
Like Samuel Jackson.
they're
he's like
59.
70.
And you're just like,
Yeah, that motherfucker doesn't look that old.
No.
it's just like fair play to that man.
That whole
Black
Bible
don't crack.
passage in Pulp Fiction, Samuel Jackson does.
Mm.
Samuel Jackson.
I think
is fucking
Samuel
legend.
Jackson, Pulp Fiction was one of his breakthrough movies. That's one of his
Yeah,
first movies.
that's probably him saying like, "I'm here, like you can hire me."
Well,
now.
think how long ago that was, yeah?
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to have to ballpark it because I can't bother to look it up, but I think he was near 40.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, you
Mad.
think it's probably, what, 70s?
Yeah,
And
it's
John
insane.
Travolta must have been what, like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, that was one of his first ones, wasn't
Didn't
it?
he
You
go
know what I
on
mean?
from
Like,
Pulp Fiction to making his own film, Get Shorty or something?
Get
like
Shorty's meant
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
alright.
yeah.
Actually,
That? I actually
yeah.
watched that the other day. I was actually
Was it good?
It was good, yeah.
It was decent. I don't
Oh,
think
I'll
it'd be
give
that
it a
great. I don't
watch.
think Get Shorty. I think I made the second one.
fair.
I don't think that's as good. But
Mm.
Which is mad to think that someone who's had that much longevity, same as Morgan Freeman.
Oh, yeah, Morgan
And again,
Freeman,
both black actors,
Yeah.
and they both got into their careers really like
Morgan
late. If
Freeman,
you're
yeah.
talking about
God,
like what people think would be
literally.
like, a lot of people by 30 would have given up on acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they were like, no, keep going, and made it at 40. And now he's
Well,
Samuel
what,
Jackson,
like-
been in hundreds of movies.
Yeah.
You,
like-
you hear about things like this, like J.K. Rowling at like the age of like what I am now
Mm.
was broke. Yeah. Now she's like the richest author in the world.
Yeah.
I write a book.
No, but a lot of stuff like that is literally people giving up and conforming.
Yeah.
People will have a dream where they'll have something they enjoy doing, and then people will keep doing it, and everyone when they're 17 is living their dream or trying to go for their dream.
Yeah.
And then people get to a certain age, and much more than half, probably closer to like 80-90% of people go, oh, maybe it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean?
Get a real job.
Yeah, and they do that. And I think
Stuff like that.
that's half the reason why people don't make it. It's not the fact that they weren't lucky or they weren't talented.
Yeah.
It's the fact that like people like Meatloaf and Morgan Freeman and Samuel Jackson just kept going.
And
And eventually got that. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just that
what
not
I
giving
don't
up.
like is when they try to create a celebrity who look like a fucking, like a fucking Britain's Got Talent or whatever, and they like try to create this persona and they try to sell it, and then there's like merchandise before this person's even become a massive thing and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just ridiculous, man. You should really just be trying to push any sort of talent that's there and sort of get that out there.
Yeah.
But they're just all about like, let's get t-shirts, let's get models of this person. Like, did you get statues of these people?
It's
like,
because the average, like, do you know what the lowest common denominator means in maths? Yeah. Like, but the harsh thing is with humans, like, the average is below average. You know what I mean? And that's why X Factor went for bajillion seasons and Britain's Got Talent goes for bajillion seasons because the mass, because they're all money making guys, they want the most people to be buying in.
That's
the
why they've got them
people,
massive lights on the stage.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
can afford it.
And but what I'm saying is like it's the same with like why everyone hates politicians, because it's just like they're the guys where the lower than common denominator is the ones that are going to vote for them. So they're the people that are easiest to brainwash, easiest to do whatever. That's why I think, to a certain degree, where we went around the world trying to give people democracy, and it's fucked their countries up. They get people like Mugabe elected, because the main people who get elected are liars and people who are good at selling stories to not smart people. That's always going to be the way, because that's the majority. So voting isn't actually the best way to do it, even though people think it's fair, because, it's going to sound really like Nazi-ish for me, but like, if you're really stupid and you don't do any research on politics, just because you turn 21, why should you be able to vote?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't vote.
I'm not going to vote on stem cell theory or anything like that, because I'm not on your
No,
side.
there
You know
are
what I
people
mean?
out
Like,
there that can do dangerous, horrible things. It's crazy to think about that. But that's why you just don't fuck with that shit.
The way I say it, any idea that comes from a film or a TV series, someone's been smart enough to think about it way before.
Yeah. Not even just that, but anything that scientifically is possible is plausible. Even if it hasn't happened, it could. You know what I mean? So
you remind me of Johnny Depp. It's impossible, not probable.
I think
every
idea is a prediction. At some point, someone's going to go, let's make that real.
No, not even just that as well, but even in terms of predictions and theories and that, like going on about science and theories and conspiracy stuff, like it's almost a case of what we know now as fact hasn't always been fact.
No.
So therefore, it means it's not always going to be fact.
No,
Like this is a bad example, because I obviously think the opposite of what I'm going to say, but everyone thought the world was flat, and at that time, before you realised that, you would be wrong. You are wrong to say it's round, because you didn't know it. And now we know it's round because of the technology we've got now. Whereas when we have a better understanding of shapes, and we decide that it's actually like, oh, it's round here, but then it's got a spike over here. Oh, that's classified as that shape. Then the round would be wrong. It's a bad example, but you know what I'm saying? Science adapts. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a good example.
Truth changes.
The problem today is there are people that literally don't accept that there is literal evidence, 100% evidence that the Earth is round. They don't accept it. They don't accept it, and they're like, no, the Earth is flat. It's like, right, cool, here's a boat. Go find the edge.
Yeah.
And then, like, in amount of time, they'll turn up behind you, because obviously you've stood there all this time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Well, there's a similar thing for that. So there was a book that I can't remember, it was in France somewhere. Basically, they asked people to draw what they think the future is going to look like. It's all these like crazy things, and it's just like, it's just not happened. People are thinking,
Back to the Future thought we'd have like hoverboards by now, which there are technically. There's jetpacks and shit. Jetpacks are real. That's but stuff like that.
Yeah, but you're never going to know until it gets there, and then. Well, my thing is, what is truth now, and is legitimate truth that is fact for? Not all of it, maybe not even 10%, whatever. Some of that will not be... The classic one's diet. Just in my timeline, it's like... meat's good for you, meat's bad for you. Fat's good for you, fat's not good for you. Pasta and rice is good for you, pasta and rice is bad for you because it's carbs.
Well,
you know what I mean? And it's just like they're all right and wrong in different reasons. And until we actually reach to that point where we know exactly what the perfect diet is, it's all going to be changing facts.
That's like fruit is good for you, but the sugar in it is bad for you.
Yeah.
That. It's like Thanos in Infinity War. You know, everything is balanced perfectly as it should be. That's why you can eat a fruit and it'll be good because of this reason, but bad because of this reason. You can eat meat and it will give you strength and stuff, but it will also give you like fucking like.
Well, it's just trial and error as well, and also different in terms of diet. It's also different people and how you metabolize it, and the stuff isn't as exact as people want it to be. And when you talk to good scientists, again like Brian Cox, they get that across.
Yeah.
Because people will sometimes get a bit scared of like science and get a bit scared of like. That's why a lot of people are religious because it's a lot more like fairy tale. Yeah. And science is like that as well. Like science is beautiful and is like mystic as like God and that. If anything, it's more so. Yeah. Because it is just like people are like thinking that if someone choosing to make them out of clay is more special than like that random drop in an ocean chance of us getting to life. Yeah. That's so beautiful in itself to be like, man, like we might as well live for the moment. I would like try and make the best of it because rather than being like, no, you're on a mission because someone built you and said you got to be my sheep. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, alright, sweet. Yeah, I'd much rather have someone looking over me being like, you done that wrong again? I'm going to say you're my fucking bad Uncle Satan. You fucking can. You know what I mean? Like, I like the thing of just being like, oh, we're in existence. Oh, what are we going to do now? I'll just try and do the best out of it. Occasionally have a few wars, alright? Yeah, okay.
Let's build some temples and make some mysterious shit that no one ever will be able to work out.
Oh, there's loads of crazy stuff.
But I think we should do that for next time. Ancient shit, maybe. Ancient history. Like history.
Yeah, history
but like
is a good
history, not like a boring historian way, but like in a think about what
the fun fact tortures.
Torture. Yeah, should we just do torture and BDSM next time?
Well, no, to be honest, there's so much cool history just because humans are cool. So I think general
history of BDSM.
History. Yeah, general history.
Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah,
the very first start of BDSM.
But I'm gonna.
Right in the end.
On that note, I think we should maybe wrap it up there.
How long have we been going for?
2.5.
Oh no, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think that's a
we
good
covered
length.
the points. We've done the shit. Oh, very last one. Just to wipe some sort of news in there. Because I see you'd posted something about it.
About a girl.
Yeah, the classic. It's like current news, I suppose, at the moment, and it's the terrorist ISIS lady or whatever coming back to the country. I think she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into the deep political side of it at all.
Yeah.
But what I am going to say is, I made a well funny meme. I made it myself.
Because
I saw that picture.
Put it in Discord.
We'll put it in the Discord. It'll be in there soon.
And I basically just got her face, the lady.
Yeah.
And then I literally just wrote over it, because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
Was that you? I see.
Yeah, I literally made it myself. I took the picture off your thing, off that post. I screenshotted it and then posted it and written it on my thing. And I was just like, that's such a good idea for a meme of just like, because when you listen to Afro Member because I got high, it's a classic thing. It's like, oh, everyone does silly things occasionally.
Because they got
high. It's just like, everyone occasionally becomes ISIS member and
that's
kills their children.
Now, do you agree they should let her in? I don't think they should.
The thing is, she's got the right to turn up, and then when she crosses onto the soil, she'll be immediately arrested and charged and all that shit. But the thing is, I think it's a waste of resources to let her come back. Someone I know said we should get her back for justice and like to give the people that have had people killed by ISIS members and give it some sort of justice. But it's waste of resources on someone we could just banish from the country. Just fuck off. Go to
I think the world's too boring, and I think if she comes back and wins a Hell in a Cell match against Brock Lesnar, and where anything goes.
I don't know. I didn't expect anything less than that.
And if she can make him tap, then
Brock Lesnar.
People might hate her and throw stones at her and that, but she's got the right to live here. She's owned it. I like that.
Big Brock Lesnar.
I love that classic old school way of life, and we was talking about medieval and that.
Fucking death by combat.
Well, it's that thing of respect.
Death by trial by combat.
I think nowadays it's so people can hide behind the police and a PC and this and that. There's that horrible thing of well, it's not just that, but it's the fact that occasionally these people are going to be so sheltered and so offended by stuff that one day they're going to be out in the real world and be out somewhere out of their comfort zone. And when they're like, I'm offended by what you're saying, that person don't give a fuck and he's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
You need to respect that still,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because we're not living in a world where you're completely protected. So,
Yeah.
what about police? Well, there we are to like arrest him after he's killed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
'cause we haven't got like Minority Report level of like
That's
future saving shit. You know what I mean? So it's a
Yeah.
case of,
Yeah.
and I think people are a lot. That's been lost a lot, and you see it a lot in, I suppose, England, but mainly in
I'll do
America,
the other half later.
where people are like,
How do you want to be, my bro?
they're so socially terrible because they
That's
don't
right.
have to be, or because they think they
They
don't
win.
have to be, and then you wonder why there's school shootings.
Yeah.
Because it's just, oh no, I'll sue you. Oh no, I'll do this, I'll do that, and someone's just like, well, you want it now?
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. And you
Oh,
get
well,
like,
well,
It's the
Yeah.
people who are then like, oh, but it's our right to have a gun. It's not your right, really. It's your right to
yeah.
use a gun responsibly.
no, this is an interesting thing in America, and yeah, it's causing loads of
Mamma
deaths,
mia.
and
Tastes like
yeah, it's
caramel.
maybe not that good or
It's so
whatever.
beautiful.
But I think the thing about the American independence law about having guns is actually really good. It's basically in their rules or whatever that makes America free.
Right,
Limits.
Siggy. End of pod,
If
Siggy.
their government turns up and starts mistreating them and starts to try and like fuck them over,
Yeah.
they've got the right to defend themselves against the government,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and that's actually really fucking cool.
Martial law.
What? No, it's not even martial law. It's literally
No.
the Fifth Amendment or Third Amendment, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but I
basically
mean,
saying
that just causes infighting then, which would probably
I was
lead
like,
to
yeah.
martial law.
Yeah, surely that just causes
That's just
revolts.
a path. That's just a path to martial law.
Yeah, but
surely.
revolts are good because if they had that same law in Nazi Germany and you're allowed to kill the evil Nazi people,
Because they're
that's
Nazis.
because you're allowed to have guns.
Nazis are pieces of
Whereas
shit.
if our government tried to fuck us over, we could go to DFX and get a fucking nail gun or a thing,
Yeah.
but they've got machine guns and we're not allowed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why is a policeman allowed a machine gun when?
I'm not.
Well, yeah, if like a
Because the policeman's out there trying to subdue criminals who are trying to do harm to other people, that's why.
are they all doing that?
Well,
There's no one
probably
saying
don't.
Over
paedophiles.
here,
There's
yeah,
no one
fine.
saying paedophiles. The ones saying bad guys. Humans are humans. If you got a hat on and you did a course, don't make you any better or worse than anybody else. Like, or you should be able to take someone's life or not take.
But
You
if
know what I mean?
you're
Like,
there-
I'm
if
talking
you're-
morally.
If you're the authority that
Mm.
is there to say stop a paedophile, like you say, and the paedophile has a gun, let's say,
Yeah.
you want to know that this police officer's probably got a machine gun or a shotgun, whereas the guy, the paedophile's only got a pistol.
Yeah, but
you want to know
you're
that the
going-
policeman can subdue
You're,
this
so
guy.
you're taking authority as a fictional character who's like not got moral. Like a
Yeah,
policeman
there's going
isn't
to be a
good
moral
guy.
guy,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I mean, I think most people can agree that if they were going to shoot out the paedophile, they'd want to get the cunt square between the eyes.
Yeah, but if you weren't a police officer, you wouldn't be allowed to have a gun.
But
You know
that's
what I'm
why
saying?
you
Like-
get the police. That's why you get the police. That's
Yeah,
why
to
they have a
arrest
number.
them and then pay
that's
for 'em.
why the government
Yeah.
should invest in giving them more resources, but they don't because England is a stupid country.
I'm definitely against that. I've only had bad experiences with police, and I think for whatever times they could be useful for, there's loads of times where they,
They've only been
Create
good to me,
social
I
shit.
can be honest.
yeah, I just find that don't get me wrong, sometimes they're handy, sometimes they do whatever, but it's a case of it's the job itself.
The
I've
bad
seen.
thing's got to happen for them to respond to it.
Yeah,
That's the thing. So
yeah.
there's always going to be that
Yeah,
bad
they're not going to be able
instinct.
to. They're not going to be able to predict, and it's like it's a shame they can't. Obviously, you know, be able to predict crime, you could stop it, but it's like they try as hard as they can, and they can only do as well as they can with the cuts that have been made to the service and the amount of budget that they've lost and stuff like that. They can only do so well. You know, you shouldn't blame the guys that are actually just trying to make a living by protecting
Yeah.
people. It should go against the people that are deciding these people
No,
don't
it's-
need more money to bolster the force and to maybe have a few more beat cops around that could actually be around looking for people being dickheads in
That's
the street.
more the government, isn't it?
It's the
Because
government.
they're not funding-
It's not the people actually out there. You know, some people, like, I know it's more America, getting fucking killed. They have families and stuff and they get killed and they're just trying to protect people. They're trying to subdue criminals.
But that's what we're saying about the whole gun thing.
Yeah. It's what I'm saying about the whole gun thing. There's also plenty of other cops that see a black guy
And
and think,
"Oh, 'cause he's
I
black,
could probably
we'll
kill him and get away.
Yeah, and that prejudice needs to be erased. We need to get rid of that. We
That
need
still
to
happens.
eradicate
But this
it.
is the whole thing I was saying.
It happens worse than ever, man.
About
if you see things on...
You either have no guns
Yeah.
at all, or everyone should be allowed guns.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you say only people in charge are allowed to have them, you can get bad people
But
in
that's the
charge,
thing,
and then it's not fair.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
what you're
You know what I
saying. They haven't tried just giving the police guns. They haven't tried taking police guns away from the average guy.
Mm.
Whereas England, you don't really have people walking around with guns. In America, you can go to a convenience shop with a pistol on your hip.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
some places, if they were like here, I think if just police had guns,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot less risk of someone shooting up a school.
Well,
you know.
there's a lot of risk of shooting in general.
Yeah.
Which
But it's
initially
just
is a
like all
good
the
thing.
school shootings. How many school shootings does it take for them to realise, get rid of the fucking guns? Let police have them to stop these people.
All right, let's word it like this to try and change your mind. How many more, and the number is infinite, by the way, how many more, maybe not infinite, but probably close to it, it's probably been the odd one, but how many more women have defended themselves from rape from having a gun in America than in England? 1, 2, or infinite in it? Because it doesn't happen in England because you're not allowed to have
what
one.
you've just done there is you've really thrown in a good point. Because I never really thought of like if a woman is going to be protected on her own. So yeah, you got a point there, but then you also have to live with the fact that there's 100,000 nut jobs out there in America. The one video I see of a body cam of a police officer getting killed by this redneck guy because this guy's fucking mental. He's probably got PTSD. Probably should have got treatment for it, but obviously the stigma of emotional, mental health is very bad everywhere in the world. But the fact that this guy was able to get away with killing this officer, that he literally says, "I have a wife and kids," and he shoots him to death. Well, I don't know if he got away with it, but the fact he did it. As soon as you've killed someone, you've gotten away with it because you're never getting that life.
The harsh thing of a gun, the harsh thing about with a gun is the fact that it's easier to do it with a gun. That's all it is. And don't get me wrong, that's still a bad point.
Now,
that's all it is.
when you
Because
said about
people have died, police officers with kids who probably said the same thing, who've got their throat slit or got beaten to death. You know what I mean? At least if
I'm good with that, if everyone else is good with that.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Thank you all for watching.
Take it easy, guys. Yeah.
And listening to our gobbledygook.
Quite a few little ladies and men. Gracie on the hardcore as well. Gracie on the flex. Yeah.
Gracie was hurting her fingers tonight on the keyboard.
No,
but she's used to it because she plays Rocket League so much.
she's always like,
Bam, bam, go, assist.
Yeah, nice one. Take it easy, everybody.
Yeah,
See you next time.
See you then.
See you later, guys.